Hi there. Welcome to week 24 of history. So, this week we will be getting into something very, very different. So, this kind of looks like something that you may have saw at the beginning of the year when we were working on our continents as well as learning about the oceans and just our world in general. Since then, we have focused strictly on the United States and what's going on in our country. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to taking a look at the world. And specifically, right under this anchor chart title here, we have ancient history. We're going to be looking at ancient history, and that is groups of people that lived long ago. So, why are we doing that? Well, we just got done learning about being a good citizen. A lot of what we've learned from being good people is from people that lived before us. And as we know, the United States is a relatively new country. So it was developed in the 1700s. And yes, that was well over 3,000 years ago. However, a lot of the countries or a lot of the ancient groups that you see on the screen in front of you started well before the United States. It started in the 1200s or the 1300s. So we're talking about maybe 6 to 8 thousand years ago. So much longer. So these groups of people have taught us so much, whether it's about being a good citizen, how to grow food, how to build, how to communicate, the list goes on and on. So you can see that over the next several weeks, we will be learning about very many different groups. And each group comes from a different part of the world. So we will be focusing on, if you look at the top here, this will be this week's the Aztecs. We're going to learn about the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Incas, the Mayans, and the Romans. And something to know about the majority of these groups is that most of them are no longer around. That's how old these these groups are. This is why we call it ancient, because ancient means old. So, what will we be learning throughout the next several weeks? Well, we're going to learn where each of these groups came from. We're also going to learn what they are famous for or what they helped to introduce to the world. So, each specific group did something very important that helped all the countries in our world get better at doing whatever it is they want to do. And one last thing that we'll be focusing on throughout the week is just simply or focusing on throughout the next several weeks is just simply learning about something different. Right. So we've learned quite a bit about ourselves, but now it's important that yet again we look at other people and other groups to truly understand why we as Americans or we as people in general in today's world do the things we do. And a lot of it is because of what's happened in our past. All right, so let's get ready for this week's lesson on the Aztecs. Uh, Throughout the next 6 weeks, we'll be covering one group every week. So you'll be learning a little bit, or we'll be focusing on one specific area, one specific group. And then at the end of that 6 weeks, we'll kind of review everything. So let's see what the Aztecs have done for the people of today.